What it do, baby? I have the iPhone SE right here, or otherwise known as the iPhone Special and Edition, and I've had it for a month, so it's time to review the iPhone SE Rose Gold 128 gigabytes. Let's get right into it. So the past 4 weeks with the iPhone SE has sure been a nice change of pace, or just say a nice change of pace running back if I were to use NFL terms. That's what the iPhone SE is. This has a 4-inch display and it's just way smaller than my broken iPhone X. So I broke my $1,000 iPhone X and I'm like, I have to get a cheap iOS device that's still pretty decent, and I went with this one. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I want to first answer this question that I got asked a lot during my 4-week time with the iPhone SE. I would say like around 5 times. Like some of my friends and some random people were like, oh my gosh, is that the iPhone 5? No, I know this didn't release in September, but this is not the iPhone 5. This is the iPhone SE, which is the iPhone 5 design with iPhone 6s internals. And thank the Lord for those iPhone 6s internals, because this would not even survive, even close to survive iOS 13 with those iPhone 5 internals. And getting started with one of those iPhone 6s carryovers to this device right here, and that's the camera. And thank the Lord that the camera has carried over from the 6s to this thing, because this still was a really good camera in 2016. Yes, that's 2016 and now we're in 2019, camera technology has developed, but this still takes decent, moderate pictures with decent high dynamic range. And to video, you still got that high tier audio, that crystal iPhone audio, and you still have 4K at 30. So this is just good enough to get the job done. And that's all you could ask for out of a smartphone camera, since I'm using this camera right here, which is really good and kind of expensive compared to this one right here. So this is just for on the go, little quick videos with my friends, and this bad boy right here is for those big shoots. And getting to one of the sneaky good reasons to pick up the iPhone 5, and that's just simply the design, the thing you're using every single day. And this isn't even talking about the screen, which we'll get to, but just from a design standpoint, this is just made to be a one-handed device, and I absolutely love that, especially with its chiseled box rectangle with those rounded off corners. It just sits so nicely in the hand, and especially since I got it rose gold, it looks nice and almost pink and gold sometimes depending on the light. And then you also got these really cool volume up or down buttons. And yes, it has a home button, and it's not like the taptic feedback home button that's on the iPhone 7. So it took me a couple weeks to get used to this home button, since I was so used to the gestures, especially like going from the notch to notch for control center and those notifications. It's been an adjustment, but like I don't really like the home button, but it's there. And yes, another thing that I don't really like it, but it's there, and it actually might be a pretty convincing reason for people outside of me, and that's the headphone jack. I don't use the headphone jack. I have AirPods and I have Bluetooth in my car, so I don't use the aux cable. So I don't really know the purpose of a headphone jack in 2019, but hey, it's there if you want it on this device. And yeah, it's got decent speakers. Decent. And for our next topic, the battery life on this device, this has me a little queasy in my stomach, because I don't like talking about this, because I want to like just rave about this phone and like, yes, this iPhone SE is amazing, because I actually do love it. And it's like so weird how I love a phone that's 10 times cheaper than the one I had previously, which was the iPhone X. But anyways, I don't really like the battery life on this phone. With my iPhone X, I got a day and maybe a half into the next day with my iPhone X early on, but I bought this thing used. So the battery health condition right now is at 83%, and this iPhone SE doesn't even get me close to a full day's of battery life. I'm probably gonna replace the battery soon. It's probably gonna get me almost to a day, but right now it just gets me a half a day with some moderate usage. So if I have some light usage, it might make it close to the end of the day, but I'll just pull in a quick charge and then it's fine. Battery life isn't terrible, but you'll see me always connected to a charger. And getting to one of the most shocking things about this phone is that I bought a phone with a 4-inch display in 2019. And this is kind of crazy when over these past few years we have the iPhone XS Max, which has a massive phablet screen size at 6.5 inches OLED edge to edge. And this one is 2.5 inches smaller than that, and it just suits me perfectly fine. Like I've said earlier in this video, this was made from the ground up to be a one-handed phone, and I just absolutely love that. And it's super light and portable, and I 100% wish this 4-inch display was edge to edge on this little screen size. But hey, it's a 4-inch LCD panel. It could be edge to edge. It could also be OLED, but that would also cost way more than $150. So hey, it doesn't get that bright out in sunlight, but it's good enough to get the job done. Very similar to the camera. It's just good enough to be passable for your main flagship day-to-day device. And these next two things that I didn't downgrade at all going from my iPhone X to the iPhone SE, and that's one, storage, and number two, software. Well, I'll probably lose out on software over like the next couple of years. But anyways, iPhone SE is going to carry iOS 13. I actually have the public beta on my device right now. I am enjoying that dark mode, that new volume animation, oh, that swipe to type. It's all lovely. I absolutely love iOS 13. I can't wait for the whole world to get their hands on it. And also in a subsequent release of iOS 13 coming later this year, Apple's going to pack in a whole bunch of brand new emojis. And I am here for the yawning emoji. And just a little yawning spec fact about my iPhone SE, I have the 128 gigabytes, which is actually 2 times more than my $1,000 iPhone X had. So yeah, I am just chilling with all this storage space, and I am just downloading all of my Apple Music tracks on here, and I absolutely love that. So for software and storage, oh, this is flagship tier right here. iOS 13 and 128 gigabytes, you can't go wrong at all. So not much to complain about with a $150 iPhone that runs iOS 13. There's really not much you can complain about at all. Because like if you are going to complain about stuff, you really can't, especially with that price tag. Like sure, I want the display to be edge to edge, OLED with Face ID, a better camera, but there exists a device for that, and that's like the iPhone XR or the iPhone XS Max. But hey, here I am, I purchased my iPhone SE, and I'm happy. Should you buy it? Indubitably so. I'm glad I said that word. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching this iPhone SE 128 gigabytes rose gold review, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure you bless them. Peace out.
3, 2, 1.
I need to let go, use my time to be free, cause it's always what you like, it's always what